let's talk about having an ego inside of Counter-Strike 2. Having an ego is actually so important if you want to succeed and grow inside this game, but it's not something that has to be negative. I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by this as somebody who has competed in the scene for year after year after year. I've been at very high highs, winning some of the best, biggest competitions in my region, winning a lot of individual stuff like FPL, climbing the ranks, and then also suffering from a lot of lows, a lot of bad moments in my own career. I'm going to help you learn through all of it, give you my take on it, and it's going to be something very valuable for those of you that are wanting to grow and succeed in Team CS inside of this game. I would love if you guys hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead, sit down, and talk about this. Now, what do I mean by having an ego is good? Having an ego is beneficial. That means that you have the confidence in yourself and you have the belief in yourself that you are better and you are going to win. This ego doesn't just have to be for yourself, by the way. This could be for your team. This could be for the people around you. And it's such a valuable tool. And the problem is a lot of people will use this in a bad way. The ego that I want you to have is something that's going to be beneficial, but you are still able to be humble enough to not be a jerk, not be a rude, nasty person. And I think a lot of athletes, a lot of the greatest players in these games use this healthy ego to give themselves the confidence to do the plays and make the big moments in these very stressful matches that they need to do. If you're a player that sits there and doesn't have an ego and sits there and feeds themselves bad self-talk, oh, I suck, I feel like I might lose this game, I'm scared that I'm gonna throw this for my teammates, you're inherently putting yourself at a huge risk, and you're making it so that you are a worse player. You're not living up to your true potential. And I'm telling you this as someone who's been on the flip side of both of this, guys. If you're sitting there suffering from this bad self-talk and you don't believe in yourself, you've already lost the battle compared to a player that, yes, they might be worse than you, but they completely are delusional enough to buy into what they believe is inside of them, and they can actually activate more from within. I'm going to explain on this further, guys, but first I have to give you a message about how to get the most egotistical Counter-Strike 2 skins inside of the game. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. All right, guys, so this self-confidence, this ego is going to propel us forward. It's going to make us believe that we can do the impossible. When I was, at the greatest point in my career, and maybe that's even coming up, maybe that's even more, I didn't sit there and think, oh, dude, I don't know if I can beat these guys. No, I sat there and trained and tried to make myself the best player possible so that this ego actually was for a reason, right? Like this ego actually lived up to the expectations I was putting on myself. This is going to be your way to handle stress because, again, you're not sitting there wondering if you are good enough. You are telling yourself, I am good enough. You're telling yourself, I am the best player in the server. Now, you don't need to sit there and be a cocky player that just sits there and destroys other people, but it also allows you to face the negative criticism, negative feedback you face from players in your game. You're going to have a lot of toxic people in CS that are going to say, you're so bad, you're awful, you should quit playing, bro. And I mean, even worse, those of you that play CS know, like people are going to tell you to do some insane things to yourself that honestly are very, very, very messed up, right? So it's going to allow you to face this criticism because instead of feeling bad about it, you're going to be like, bro, this guy is so stupid. Like, what is this guy talking about, right? Like, I'm a good player and he's sitting here and telling me that. So I don't need you to be POS, right? I don't need you to be a nasty, horrible person, but I need you to have a good enough ego so that you don't get hurt by people saying these things to you. Even if you're a super nice person, a very kind human being, you're going to face the nastiest people in this game. And if you haven't developed that ego to know that you're valuable in the scene, you're good, it's going to just end up hurting you. You're going to sit there going, why am I playing this game, man? Why am I sitting here? No, make this game what you want to do it. You are a great human. You're a valuable person inside of you. So just remember that and remember who you are. Remember your purpose. Remember your reason. This game is whatever you want it to be. So don't let these people take that away from you. It doesn't matter what you've done, where you've been, who you are 20 days ago, a year ago, 5 days ago, yesterday. All that matters is how you are going to play now, how you're going to play in the future, and you can't afford to let that negative thoughts impact any of that. This person thinks you're bad, so what? Who cares? I know my value. I know I'm good inside. I know what I've done. I know what I'm going to do in the future. I know who I am. Whatever they think of me, it doesn't matter. That's outside of my control, right? And the more you stop caring about this projection, this image of you, and the more you start just living up to what you know, again, this ego, you know you can do, the shots that you can hit, the clutches you can win, the situations you can put your team in, the less you're gonna suffer. I'll give you guys a great example of this. I was in an ECL match and my team was on map 3. I had just carried 2 games before where I was popping off, no negative self-talk, no doubt or anything. We are winning this 3rd map. We're here on Inferno. We're in a retake. All of a sudden, the other team just starts popping off and the player gets 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, and I'm left in a 1v1 wondering, how did we just crumble? I literally said in that moment to my team, I said, fine, I'll do it myself. And you know what I did? I took the op here, came up, confidently peeked him and killed him. I wasn't sitting there like, oh, dude, I don't know if I'm good enough. This guy just killed 3 of my teammates. No, I said, I'm going to do it myself and I win the round for my team. That is what I knew was inside of me in that moment. I knew I was going to win it. I wasn't going to let anything else get in my way. And you want to know the hilarious thing about that? The guy even shot me. He shot me and hit me for 99. I was on 1 HP. But I swear my confidence to sit there and peek him with pure intention, ferocity, just somehow made it so that I survived, right? When I start playing my worst CS, I sit there and I have no ego. I sit there and go, oh, dude, these guys are better than me. They're hitting crazy shots on me. They're doing this. Versus somebody that has an ego is like, dude, I'm going to beat these guys. They're getting so lucky right now, but I'm going to beat them because I don't care how many shots they've hit on me. I know I'm better than them. I know that I'm going to rise above whatever level they are playing at, and I will do even better than that. So let's talk about at the end of this video now, because I know there's a million comments talking about how this is the problem in the scene. People have egos, all this. It's true. Egos can absolutely be a disgusting, nasty thing that really just makes the scene worse, makes the community awful. And that's where we got to understand a healthy ego is what matters. You guys know what I do on these channels. I do coaching content. I'm helping out the worst players in the scene, the best players, whoever it is. I care about all of you, right? I care about you. I care about growing the floor just as much as the ceiling. Egos can destroy the scene. Egos can make life miserable for everyone else. That's why you've got to be the player that has that ego within them, has that belief in themselves, but you are able to be a human. You are able to give positivity to others. Just because you have confidence, just because you have an ego in yourself and you believe in what you can do, why does that take away from your teammates? Don't let that take away from your opponents. Know that you're better than your opponents, but have the respect for when they beat you, when they're playing good. Be like, man, like you guys are nuts. Well played. That was great. I'm gonna beat you next time, but man, like you hit some nice shots. Also, if you beat your opponents, don't be the guy that's like, yeah, man, that was so easy. You guys suck. Whatever. Like a lot of people mistake ego, this healthy ego for that. That's not what I'm talking about. That is the bad behavior. That's bad sportsmanship, right? But you got to have the ability to flip it on and off. And in your mind, you might be thinking, man, I'm just better than these guys. They really did suck. But that doesn't mean you need to treat people poorly and sit there and demean them for trying and doing this stuff. At the end of the day, we're competitors. I don't need you to sit there and hype up your opponents and you know, make them feel better than they need to be so that you give them the confidence to beat you next time. But I also don't need you to sit there and act like you're just, you know, a reincarnation of God and you're just better. Like that's not the ego we want, guys. We got to have the ability to be humble, to have sportsmanship, and also at the end of the day, know that we are better. One of the best players with this is ZywOo. Inside ZywOo, he knows he's good. He knows he's insane. But he'll still sit there and go, yeah, man, like there's some really good players in the scene. I don't know if I'm the best opper. I just get the job done. I do what I need to do. And it's awesome to watch. And then there's also players like Simple who can be extremely toxic, negative, and, you know.
I think you're stupid. You're just a stupid player. That's why you don't know. I think you don't understand what to do and how to help your teammate. Man, nice to be bot whole your CS career. Nice to be bot and not to upgrade, not to want to listen. True, yes, let's...
lose their mind, which you can see kind of where that gets them sometimes, right? Right now, he currently is not on a team and who knows what he's doing. So there's all different types of stuff going on. At the end of the day, you've got to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, you are going to be half the player that you potentially could be. So don't take away from your own abilities by believing what other people are going to say about you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you want personal coaching from me, please check out the form in the description of this video. In the meantime, go join my Discord. It's completely free. You can interact with me and other talented, great players and people in this scene. I've put together a collection of content creators and amazing people that will help you grow and learn. So come hang out with us and have a good time. I'll catch you guys all later. Peace out. Peace out.